Good day, Tamers. Do I have a treat for you? Today has been revealed the Veemon and the Veemon line. It looks fantastic. It looks very powerful. It looks pretty good and measurable. It's dual coloured for the most part. Just terrible, disgusting things. And I'm looking forward to seeing the other half of it possibly tomorrow, if not in the near future, because this set comes out in like 4 weeks in Japan. And then we have to wait till Christmas again to get the next one. So let's jump right in and let's see how terribly disgusting this set can really be. Veemon. On play, by trashing one card with Imperialdramon in its name or free in its traits in your hand, draw 2. Inherited effect. Your turn, or you have a purple Digimon in play, this Digimon gets 2000 DP. This is just pretty good. On play, draw 2 for getting rid of one. We'll come on to it later why this can be really good, but essentially by playing 2 cards, and by playing I mean you play one and you use one, you're drawing back the cards that you've just used. That's pretty good. The effect itself does lead into something a bit later on. Veemon. When Digivolving, activate one of the effects below. Number 1. One of your other Digimon may Digivolve into a purple level 4 Digimon card with free in its traits from your trash for its Digivolution cost. Or, option 2, you may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play into a Digimon card in your hand by paying its DNA Digivolution cost. Inherited effect. End of your turn, you may DNA Digivolve this Digimon and one of your other Digimon in play into a Digimon card in your hand by paying its DNA Digivolution cost. Again, as you'll see further down the line, like how good this really is, and how this can essentially just go from 0 to level 6 in 2 turns, which, to be honest, depending on the memory, isn't massive, but is very good for what it is. A lot of people have said obviously it's an armor that doesn't have armor purge, but in this conjunction makes a lot of sense because you aren't using it the way you'd use armor purge, which is swinging into something, throwing the armor off and being like, oh, I'm still okay underneath. Imperialdramon. DNA Digivolution 0 from red level 4, purple level 4. When Digivolving, when DNA Digivolving, you may play one Dino Veemon from your trash without paying its play cost. On deletion, you may play one Veemon from your trash without paying its play cost. Inherited effect, your turn. While this Digimon has Imperialdramon in its names, it gains security attack +1. So this is obviously going to be specifically a Imperialdramon card, which is fine, there should be no reason why it wouldn't be. But its DNA effect is so good because Dino Veemon, you know, for instance, you could be trying to like find it in your deck still. You can play things like Mist Memory Boost, where you play it, you trash 2 cards and then draw 1. That's 3 cards, you have the chance of finding it. If you then want to play the Veemon can then trash it, and then later on you can bring it out with the Imperialdramon. Or it could be finding your security, your opponent swings in, it's in security, it goes to your trash. Fantastic, you can then find it again. And that's things that a lot of other colours like red don't have access to while being in this red-purple deck. Hey, I have a little bit of recursion from the graveyard. Really good, really juicy, and then you can play some really good purple option cards. The only things that come to mind really is, like I said, like a Mist Memory Boost is really good, as well as then say, so like a Jack Raid. I think Jack Raid is just a very good purple card. I don't know how great it really is, I don't play purple enough to really know, but I always think that Jack Raid is as good as, if not better than, a Hammer Spark, as it gives you 2 memory from the trash, and then can essentially give you up to 4 memory, depending on how big your trash is. Now, we are going to be in a meta where possibly being milled is quite common, thanks to Guilmon, the Guilmon deck. But obviously, until we get there, we don't really know how prevalent a milling will be. But this is a deck that doesn't mind being milled, same as the Darkdramon deck. Both of these decks probably don't really mind being milled a little bit, to the point of where like, oh no, you put my things in the trash, I guess I'll just carry on playing it as I should have. Which is obviously a nice little reprieve that a detriment to a lot of decks actually doesn't really upset these with just that much. And then lastly, Imperialdramon Dragon Mode DNA Digivolve 0 for purple level 5, red level 5. When Digivolving, when DNA Digivolving, your opponent chooses one of their Digimon. Destroy all their other Digimon. Then Blitz. When attacking once per turn, this Digimon gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. Then, this Digimon may Digivolve into one Imperialdramon Fighter Mode in your hand for its Digivolution cost. Now, this doesn't technically say colour, so you could technically run the blue-green Fighter Mode. I presume the current Fighter Mode in this area will be red-purple, just to counteract this card, as I don't think we've seen any red level 6s yet. Sorry, we've seen Chaos Dramon, we haven't seen any other red level 6s as far as I'm aware. So that's what makes me think that that will be red-purple, or just red, because or give me anything, it could be white if you want to. But I do think this will be very good, especially because if you hit security and nothing dies, you just then go, yeah, sure, slap, and then you get to Digivolve again. And then if they think, like, oh, just DNA Digivolve you down, yeah, sure, do that. I'm not too scared of you getting rid of any of the top 3 cards, because the 4th card's going to be Imperialdramon again. And that being said, though, if you have the memory to spare and you play it into this deck, you do have the option of ADP. So you do get yourself to have the, when checking security, you don't pop option cards. Obviously having things like Jack Raid, Memory Mist, possibility of, let's say, then you have things like Tai, who is a very good red memory setter, as well as having the optional effect of if you have 4 or more sources in your stack for red Digimon, you get to have an extra security attack. Now in this stack, on the basic one, you'll have at least 1 baby, 2 rookies, 2 champions, that's 5 already, 2 ultimates, that's 7, plus your mega, that's 8, Digivolve into fighter mode, that's 9. Even if you do get Digivolved by 3, you're still going to have 6 sources. So you'll have 5 sources underneath you, and you'll have your Imperialdramon standing there waving his arms around. So I do think this is going to be a very good deck. I think it's a very cool deck. You could also run a Purple Curry, so if your opponent thinks they're getting really cheeky and they start smacking into your security, or you can put them on a clock where it's like, sure, you can smack me once, but it just goes to my turn. But that's all we have to say, Tamers. I'm really looking forward to this. I think, as soon as we saw that we was going to get Veemon, that's been the thing I've been most interested in what they could do to make this deck different than the current ones we have, which is the super duper turbo jamming, smack everything around deck. But no, I think this looks really cool. The kind of cool thing about this one is it does kind of say, essentially, like, look, I don't want you to play Chimera in this deck, because Chimera doesn't get to take a name, it obviously gets to take colours. So, in that respect, I like that they've essentially said DNA is in this deck, but it's specific DNA, not generic DNA, which I think is really good. As, it makes sense, essentially, when we are going into Imperialdramon mode, which is essentially the 2 Digimon that we do see, although it does make full sense, because obviously when we see it in the anime or games, you just go from either Peldra or Dino into Imperial. But either way, we'll catch you guys soon. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, because I'm going to enjoy these cards when they finally come out. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out, goodbye. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave a like, comment. We generally do look and read and see and pray that this channel doesn't get exploded randomly by YouTube, because they randomly send us death threats for no apparent reason, but that's YouTube for you. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye!